What's going on? I'm in the middle of my Saturday workout, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Um, just going to talk about the context of the presidential election. Looking like a crazy person um, with between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris for the election. And so, the thing that my main takeaway is Trump's position, sort of the Trump. People talk about the Obama doctrine, the Trump doctrine in this case. Um, it says that the U.S. doesn't need to uh, necessarily do as much interventionist politics. We can be a little more protectionist, a little more nationalist, and the assumption then for people operating within actual strategy in the international arena is that sort of clandestine and diplomatic relationships are enough to manage how the international regime develops. Um, and so this isn't meant to be Kamala apologetics, but the only reason I disagree with this is that nation states in general, including the United States, have shown that they're incapable of building towards this sort of regime where we necessarily have globalization. Just how good is how good of a statement is that? We all struggle within globalization, um, and so when you're trying to find a backstop and decide, are you going to vote? Who are you going to vote for? Even just forming an opinion. Do you agree with one of these policies or platforms more than you agree with the other one? One of the backstops for this is the fact that we've seen diplomacy work. We've seen relations between sort of the former Eastern Bloc, in a really derogatory sense, right? Like a very modern, competitive Russia, very modern, competitive China. We've seen similar problems amongst world powers. We've seen the EU in smaller ways and the United States, in actuality, struggle to push a platform that people believe is going to stick for 10 or 20 years. We've struggled to see doctrines follow from elected official to elected official. And this is no different in China or Russia. Everyone's approaching this a different way. And so I really think now is the time for, for more diplomatic relations. And so that's my position on it. I'm going to post this. Not saying anything against former President Donald J. Trump, not saying anything for or against, current Vice President Kamala Harris. I just think that, in general, if this is what we're doing, we can all be a little better and a little more honest about it. It gives us that backdrop of speaking out of love versus competition and death, gives us something a little more concrete and tangible to hold on to that doesn't demand it becomes larger than it needs to be.